All right, welcome back, guys. Those of you that are still here anyways, I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there. I know it's been a while since I've done a review, and that's not because there's been a shortage of good music. It's actually been a lot since my last video. It's been keeping me really busy. But with the year running out, I thought I might as well try and get one more review done before I start to wrap things up for the year. So I stumbled upon this gem of a band with an absolute thrilling album from top to bottom. As you know from the title of this video, the album would be called Hit It by the band called Vianova. Now, I'm not going to do a track-by-track review like I normally do just for the sake of time, but I will give you what little I do know about the band and how I stumbled across them before we jump into the project. So yeah, I was just scrolling through Facebook. I know I'm that old, and I saw this dude that looked like Jamiroquai. Again, I know I'm old. Here's a picture in case you didn't know who that is. So I saw this dude and he was talking about how to do the quote-unquote goat scream. Now I just thought he was like a vocal coach or something doing a reaction video. So yeah, I went and looked in the comments to find what the song was called, and it was Yeah Yeah. And holy shit, it was the dude in the funny hat. And goddamn, was it brutal. It makes my throat hurt just thinking about it. I clicked their bio, which said nothing more than angry dance music based in Berlin. Cool, I thought, I'm all in. That's all I need to know. So yeah, I hit play on the album, and boy was I in for a ride. I think it's safe to say that in 2025, metal bands have so many different influences and styles to choose from that we've just really began to get a lot of these hybrid bands that just kind of break down all the walls of the past and kind of defy categorization. So with that being said, if you can define a band like this, please drop it in my comments and let me know what genre you would call it. I try not to get too way down in stuff like that, but defying categorization to me always lends to the intrigue of the band and the music to me. And the first track on here definitely had me intrigued. So the first track starts off with this sort of Lil Uzi Vert type melody and vocal effects on it, followed by a nice drum pattern. Then a choir comes in, but eventually gives way to just this stunning riff at just breakneck speed, and it's just off to the races. What happened from there was just a series of left turns stylistically, and they keep pretty consistent in that with every track. So yeah, we get a Glassjaw inspired banger with Mass Rapida. Track Future Nostalgia has big Deftones vibes, but don't get too comfortable with that and just float away, because those thrash metal screams will just come in at you at the last second and just scare the shit out of you. The track Wheel of Fortune is such a fucking sing-along groovy jam and will have you vibing, but then it's just a gut punch with its breakdown and gang vocals, which I gotta say I'm always a fan of. The two-hit combo of Melanchthonic and Whatever Alright takes you to the club and just rocks your shit with this heavy synths and this industrial bass, and some of the most dizzying and intoxicating riffs on the entire project. And I gotta say, the breakdown on Whatever Alright is just so fucking good. So yeah, and that brings me back to the previously mentioned track, Yeah Yeah. You wanna fucking break down, this song is full of them. It's just one after the other, and you get the epic goat scream I was talking about in the beginning. Another cool thing about this song specifically is their use of this old style sample, which is kind of soulful at points, but also kind of game showy. It just kind of lures you in before the true intentions with the song start to show. They also use this technique periodically throughout the album as sort of a palate cleanser between tracks. And it really lends to making it feel like a cohesive batch of songs from start to finish. So now let's talk about the final song, which is called Obsolete. This song, they break out all the tricks. It starts off with the saxophone and just a sidebar here, but we need more saxophones in music just in general. So yeah, we get this saxophone intro followed by some piano and just some lovely crooning about the inevitable doom that awaits us all. Then the song just sort of explodes with this fucking killer riff that just comes in and shakes you around a bit before you mellow back out with those megaphone vocals. And yeah, from here the song just sort of evolves into a full-on ballad, which is just very grand and catchy. Think Freddie Mercury or that dude from Panic at the Disco. I think that's the band anyway. And then in another elevation of the sound on this track, we get a bit of a choir in the background as the singer belts out his chorus once more before we crescendo into the closing part of the song where he just goes fucking crazy. The guitars are going, the drums are clashing. I really love how the song just builds and builds and builds. then explodes. It's fucking amazing and just very grand in scale. An absolute banger of a ballad. Another thing the song does really well for me is just summarize the themes of this album, which deal heavily with just the apathy and, the horrible revelations you have as an adult. As he begs for the day you can kind of just shake it off and just, exist in this space unbothered for one goddamn second and enjoy it. Because we all know, we're just useless bags of meat. So yeah, man, this album to me is just a fucking masterclass in this new wave of hybrid metal that is rising. And for a debut album, that's just really, really fucking impressive to me. The singer has so much range, the band's fucking killer, and it just scratches every itch you could have as a metal or a music head. There's nasty bass lines, there's thick riffs, the breakdowns are super inventive and just disgustingly brutal. There's groove, there's bounce, there's industrial tones, you get heavy drum fills, gang vocals, melodies, cleans, dirty growls, samples, pianos, and saxophones. Just literally everything you could fucking ask for. And they do it all with lyrics and melodies that just stick with you for days. And I'm not like a musician myself, but this entire album feels like it has a steady heartbeat through it. Just keeping those BPMs really high so you can just fucking move to it. If that's your thing. Angry dance music, that's for sure. I think they killed that in the bio. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up for my album review. I hope you guys check out this band. Is really exciting to me. I haven't been this excited in a long time. This is some really good shit. I got my shirt ordered. I can't wait to see them come to the United States and just fucking kill it over here. I hope that's sooner than later. Check out my other videos. Check out my son's page, Evanzilla, while you're at it. Go give him a like and subscribe. Give me one as well. I'm not going to promise you what all my next review or video will be because that never seems to work out here. But yeah, I can promise you that I will be back with my year wrap-up for 2025 at some point. Wait around for that if you'd like. Yeah, that's all I got. Peace out.